Many of us who are engaged in different types of activism have a bent for action. Peter Benenson, a barrister from London in the 1960s, was similarly a man prompted to action. First, he was provoked to outrage as he sat on the London Underground in his bowler cap reading a newspaper account of two Portuguese students who toasted freedom and under the oppressive government of the day were imprisoned for 7 years for this celebration of liberty. Benenson was so outraged that he had made up his mind that he would go to the Portuguese embassy to begin a personal protest against what had happened. But he decided better when he stopped off and went into St. Martin in the Fields Church to quietly reflect for the next 3/4 of an hour. And he sat in the church contemplating what it was that he should do. An idea, a genius idea, was birthed. It was a ludicrous idea. It was an idea that was actually ridiculed in his day. But it was the idea to bombard governments with letters from people all over who were concerned about what was happening to people being held as political prisoners. And this idea, birthed in quiet reflection in a chapel in London, England, would reverberate throughout the world and would lead to the freedom for so many people, because one man didn't just spring immediately into action, but took time to pause, to contemplate, to reflect, to pray, and to find a better way. For the Christian, this form of reflection often takes place in moments of meditation or prayer. And sometimes we can get so engaged and consumed for the battle that we're fighting that we want to rush headlong in, not understanding sometimes or remembering that the battles that we fight are not always against flesh and blood. And our fear is that if we take too long or spend too much time in prayer or reflection or studying scripture or reading our history of those who have gone before us, that we might lose that urgency of concern for the oppressed. But the reality is, like it's been said about prayer, sometimes like an arrow that is in the bow, prayer is the time of gathering strength where we're being pulled backwards and we feel like we're not advancing toward our objective. But what we are actually doing is gathering strength that will propel us forward when that strength is unleashed into the battle ahead.